Oh my God, early Kyler, you up and did it. And now you ain't away. We see. Where have you gotten off to? Oh, I know it was you. You were the one who saw this way, and we know what you see, and now there ain't no P and that other thing where you don't get. How in the world did you get away with this? I don't understand it. You have fooled us all. You have made a way I don't see, and then a way I see, and I am when I look too. You know what I see, and you knew I was going to react this way, and now I know what I say. I was worried for some time because I knew that they might see, but now I know they say we don't see, and they know don't see. And I say, what do I do about these things I see? And they aren't any way I say to see, and now I knew I will just keep on removing it. I said, look, my man, if you can't get it, you have to know exactly how it went all the time, before and after, and then you have to know what they were up to. And he saw this way in some way we see. However, he derived his information, it was very good and it was not complete. And in this way, he was able to only eschew half of his fidelities. If you know what I'm saying, he could not commit to the entire extreme extravaganza he had plotted to see. The game revolves around some books and notes we see him and how he see and other things, and I don't see what they see, and it's the way I see and how we see it there. And what he did is promotively clever. He said, "Don't ever look away, pseudo." And I said, okay, and we tried to do these things, and now I see that we were going to do them no matter what. And in this way, he sees me as a way I don't see, and he locks me in a basement, and that's usually it. But he does things to others, our irregulars, that are far, far less kind and kindred. I originally found this out when I was with the clan, and they said, don't see these things. And I knew what he see, and he put them in a locker or some place where it's very uncomfortable all the time. And you would know what I was saying. He would not be released for a very long time, and then when released, he would be beaten again, and perhaps put in the same locker upside down. They see this way. They see this way very much. And I said, don't ever fuck with the KKK. If you know what I'm talking about right now, man, I mean, we walked into this and we bumped our heads on the pole. You must understand this was not what we see when we see away. We didn't even understand it, and they said just go up there and start shooting, and they're gonna attack from here, and they did not do that, and then we were just out to sea. Almost every single person I know said this man died, this man died. They were important in some way too, and we don't see a way, and this and that and the other way we see. And I said, well, early Kyle sees a way for us, and he never see no way. And I was wondering what I see when I see that he, as the one way we see it, doesn't see a way. And he said, look, man, we can't see it. And he goes, why not? Because if we see this way, we will look the way they see, and this isn't a way we say. Well, what am I supposed to do when I know these things they don't see and we don't see, and who sees? No one sees. And I said, well, why don't any of us see? And they said it's because of the Vlad tapestry empire or something. We don't see it. And he says, what he do? And so it came to pass at some point in time, some said Vlad Tepes had taken control of the Khalid ship, and it was none other than a guy named Lee, who was a Chinese. And they said, how is the Chinese vampire going to take control of our ship? One of these guys and says, oh, the Porcadated Valley. And they said, he ain't in control no matter what they say. He just has the affluence to recleave himself of the aberrance of full control because he can lie towards it almost indefinitely at this time. We see. So, like, we see these things here. We went to there at the zoo and they didn't see a way, and we saw these ways, and we see that they don't see, and we went back and we signed a treaty, and there were all sorts of humpity jumps, and nothing really happened, actually. You better believe it. And we didn't get in much trouble. We lost one, and they lost two, and we were like, okay, well, they got them back, and can we get ours back? And they go, no, that's for early collar dude. He goes, okay, well, I don't see why. And so at some point in time, we decided they were not the enemy, and we go, who is the enemy? And early collar says, they are not the enemy. And he said, well, what are you, did you just flip on me? He says, well, yeah, kind of. I mean, it didn't go the way I expected, so I got to do this. He said, okay, well, see you wait, father. And he was quite upset because he does not like being disrespected in front of this whole crowd. And what he said was, I will not drop him out of the helicopter on this day. I will wait. He may come back around and be polite again to me. So it came to be that there were now three parts of the Ku Klux Klan because of this events and how they broke up and how this all thing came past. And now in the 90s, there were less Klan than ever because they had all split up and gone their separate ways, and we don't see these ways anymore when we see them. And somebody said there's one that is not even us who is the Klan too. And they said they're way up north there, and everybody says they're the ones to be feared. And I don't know how this came to pass, but apparently they're from the underworld, and now they decided they were who we were before away. I said, how does this even make sense to anybody? And they don't bring it up anymore, anything you see. And he said, don't talk about that. And I know what he sees. It's just embarrassing to everyone involved with her collar. And we don't see no way when we see these ways. And he said, well, what I see now. And he said, don't ever go back on these words now. He said, we have to stand strong. We have to look a specific way. We have a peace treaty to uphold. He said, when this peace treaty expires, what's going to happen? He said, I swear to God, if we were World War II, I'm going to be real upset about it because I did not start it, and they did. And now I see that these guys are just fighting. He will do whatever Earl Kyler says, unlike me, who will argue to him about it in some way we see. And we know that there are clones that he must have to obey him at all times. And we said, aren't they supposed to not be here? And then someone brought it up that he can have what he wants when he's here, just like that brain surgery joint he had. And they said, what are you talking about? What brain surgery joint? And they said, oh, you don't know about that? That was back from the Toltec Indians. He had to have it for his clones to be completed. We see it. We don't see it. So now you know what happened there, and they're pretty much the same things we always seen. It's just whatever. And you know what it is. Go back to the farm, working on the farm, and that's it. And then we get out of my farm, and they see it, and it's always been the same way. We see it the way we see it. And everyone says there ain't shit to see anymore, you know. And the Sioux are not even at war with us, and we don't even know why this started to there. And we don't see that they aren't anyone we see when we see a way, and it was something we say, and we say, why don't you just not see it? And they go, okay. And he goes, okay. And we haven't been talking very much, and now they're not talking to them either. So at some point in time, somebody goes, who is talking now? And they say it's just the government talking to one of their witnesses, and nothing else is happening. It has been this way for so entirely goddamn long at this point in time. We don't get paid. They don't get paid. We're not paying them. No one is being paid any longer. I said, do you know what it's like in America? I mean, I know what it's like to have a poor experience, but this is unbelievable. There is nobody with money for new investments, and we don't see nobody. He said, are you serious? He's like, look, man, it's always just this nameless kid nobody likes with some money these days, and no one can explain this to me for the life of them. It's just, oh, look, Jimbo, the boy who's 16, doesn't he dance good? Look at him with his new girlfriend in blue jeans. We worked on this game. It was good. You know what's going on here. I'm just going to talk about it for a minute. It's heightened exactly like that. And the engine was pretty good. And so we didn't work on AI. We got the computer up to do it, and everyone knows what this way is, and we see this way. Through early Colin, he got this to run, so I don't understand why we don't ever see no way when we see a way. He said we have to obey by these rules, and this rule book was thick, boss. And I said, don't ever tell me what to see again. They told him to look at that book one time and memorize it, and he said, okay, could I please have it just in case I see mistranslation? They go, yeah, okay, that's fine. So what they did is they made him give us one of their books, and there was a very poor book to give him, I would say, but he sees that this is a book that's far less important. At any point in time, we were just over there and we were doing our thing, and this guy comes up and they're shooting down the hall. It's that Freddy Krueger. And then we went and investigated that, and it was no good to see. I don't know how you didn't see this, but this Freddy guy was killing everybody up for like a decade, I see, and nobody's to see it because they don't see the way they see it. And I said, well, why don't you just see that? And they don't see this way. And I said, well, who the fuck would not see it when it's nobody we see? There's a vampire killing everybody in the street. Why don't you see it? That's my entire point right now, is that we with too many of these beasts, and we don't see no way. And I was wondering who the fuck sees the beast when it murders in the middle of the street in an intersection now. Shouldn't somebody see it? And I said, early caller, you can see. He's like, nah, I probably shouldn't. And I think they see some way he sees now, because that's the way we see. And I was wondering what exactly I was supposed to be thinking about, and then I go, you know what, it's fine, it's just the N-word, and you know exactly what's happening here. And that's a way L. And I see that early Kyler sees a way L. Now sometimes I become confused. Well, I was worried about it for a while because I see a way and it don't bother me none. They all said, "Why, man, I can't see the way. He's all scared. His brain don't work and all the show there." And I know what they see, and that ain't no way it works, but that's what they see when they see the way I say. Yeah, the music was pretty good, and you know what's going on. We just try to hook it up a little bit. When our game came out, there was no fanfare, and we know what was going on. We don't see it, and we go, okay, well, it's brand new. Well, what do we do? Well, we go to this guy and that guy, and it was all pretty good, and when it came out, it was actually a pretty big success. So this game is pretty good. I like it. We had another game to come up for it, and it wasn't as good, and nobody liked it. And we said, okay, well, let's just back out now, and we'll go back to our other records and recording albums. So this is what we normally do. We just play banjo until we find something we like, and then we just go, okay, put it on there, and we just put it out. We send it to the 35 individuals that see our way, and we see it was the same old thing, and you already know what's going on here, and we're just playing our banjo, and it goes out. My mama told me not to ever see no early Kyler sees no more. I was like, God damn you, whore, you better stop talking to me right now. So let me see here. Here we go. Director's Edition. In this one, we try to tell people how it was when we see these ways and they don't see, and we don't know what way we see. And it's a very short story. It's not very long at all. We just try to make it go out longer with all these other features and things. When we made this one, we said, okay, look, it's not like that. And we said, it's like this. And that story was very good. We thought it was. And they said it was too slow and there's not to the point and there's loop around logic. And he says, okay, well, I'll try it again. And once again, we got a flaw. In this one, we tried to make it so that we see a way he sees and it's not a way he say, and it's like the way he sees and it's like the way he says, and it's the right way we see. This one is a different one where we tried to make it so we could read a little bit, and it was like, nah, I don't like this. And it was like, I don't like this one either. Let's end it. And when we came out with these, they had more information. They were better inclusive in objects, and some things just didn't work out like we thought it would in the beginning. And the new engine runs on the new hardware a lot better than it did. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty hot. When we made the second one, we were like, okay, early Kyler sees this way now. We stuck to it for a while. And then once again, he had to go back on it because he said they changed it, and now I have to see this way. And my records are complete. He said, this is what's been bugging me the whole time. It's not Sue, it's because there's so many Chinese out there that come up with one bit of information some way, and they go, well, now what? This. And they try to make it so the government has to pay them or they sue. And